Okay.
This camera won't talk to the. Actually, let me see what happens when I do this. Nothing. Cameras are just really bad. Way out of focus. And they're both out of focus. That's sad. A $10 camera. $60 camera, which is not like this. Both of those cameras are way out of focus. All my cameras are now out of focus as well. It's really good before. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Did you get it sorted yet?
I think so.
Yeah. Because I know I'm subscribed to you.
Yeah, so that's. See, I wonder if. Yeah. It's always hard to tell because I can't watch it while I'm doing it. Otherwise, it um, shows up kind of weird.
Yeah, so. Yeah, I wonder if. You're not actually streaming Discord either. You're streaming straight off of your camera.
Am I?
Yep. Always hard to tell because I can't watch it while I'm doing.
I wonder why that is because it should be. Oh, come on.
Well, on Discord, not Discord, sorry. On OBS, I'm opening mine up so I can actually see what it's called, what it is. On OBS I have a scene that's called Discord, and
Yeah, that's what I have it on right now.
it streams a window, and the window is the Discord general exe.
See, that's how I have it set up, but I don't understand.
Well, did you pop it out?
Yeah, I popped it out. I want
Huh.
to try it again. See, that is so weird. I don't know.
So you have a display capture in your Discord scene?
Um, Screen share with video. See, yeah, I don't understand why it's not. It worked fine last time.
Hmm.
Hey Jay, how are you? So yeah, I'm just trying to sort out how to get my camera all set up, Jay. And I'm not like, how's the audio on it? Is the audio okay?
You're talking.
Talking to you.
Well, right now I'm listening to the Discord audio. The audio when I had the before I muted um, YouTube was good.
Okay.
Finished. I am so jealous of Kenny. He finished up his review of the Delta Flyer.
Yeah.
You know, I did a review of the Delta Flyer too.
I
The only
have.
difference is mine's better because mine cost me $275.
I have the Delta Flyer. It's just beetroot sandwiches. Lewis, I have the Delta Flyer. I just don't know when I'm gonna build it.
I'm planning on this year planning to make it part, one of the Star Trek builds, but I got to get the Queen Mary 2 off the desk first.
Yeah. So I have the Delta Flyer. I just don't. So last time I was able to drag my camera out and make it so you could actually see the area I was working on, and now it won't. Oh, maybe this is fine. I don't know. It's just hard to.
Sorry, had you muted because I was listening to the YouTube stream. It looks fine right as it is.
So I have it zoomed. So I have the camera. So what I did was I actually zoomed in the camera. So it is actually showing. So if I do that, you see how it transitions. It's just I have this. Somehow I have my screen all screwed up and zoomed in.
Probably a function of OBS.
Yeah, and I can't figure out how to change it because it keeps wanting to pop up the other. Let me see if I can remove it. I'm probably gonna screw.
By the way, if you have anything that is Logitech,
yeah,
anytime they do an update, you have to update everything Logitech in your OBS.
Oh, really?
Every time they do an update, my actually my 615 is never affected. My 922, the more modern one, gets screwed up. That camera and my microphone, my Yeti Nano, completely cuts out.
There we go. So now, should be able to see the area I'm working on.
I see you messing with a bottle of paint.
Yep.
You set it there.
Yeah, I just zoomed in my camera, or moved in the camera so that you guys can actually see kind of what I'm working on.
I haven't tried the digital zoom. I did realize that when I moved my camera down, it fixed a lot of my issues that I've been having with the glare.
Yeah.
The camera's about a foot lower than it was, and no longer right up on top of the. Man, everything's out of focus today.
Chris is saying, don't ever take advice from a guy who doesn't edit his videos. So I'm gonna grab this.
I'm saying if I edit while making them.
Yeah.
If I know there's going to be dead air, I stop the recording.
So, kind of what I've been working on is, so originally I had made these wires, and what I used, I stripped some Cat 6 cable, and then I put the kind of a red tip on it, and originally that's what I was going to use for the distributor wires, but they looked too big to me, so now I'm using this, which is just floral wire, and those are going to go into the distributor. And then I also did the same thing, using those for the wires for the battery. And I'm going to end up painting those ones, but I think for the distributor wires I might keep them purple because I think they look kind of cool. But that's kind of what I've been up to this morning.
If the let me give you a suggestion.
Uh-huh.
If the end of the wire actually fits into the hole,
Yeah.
then put some glue on some acetate, something, put some glue on something that you can throw away because you're not going to want it anymore. I would use CA.
Yeah.
Just dip tip of the wire in there and then stick it in the hole. It should bond almost immediately. And it won't give you a big glob of glue around the hole there.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Even using the pin vise and needle thread method that I use, if you're working with something that small, you're liable to make a mess.
Yeah.
Of course, you also have to decide if it's worth all the effort you're putting into it.
True.
I don't know how many times I've put all this effort inside of something or into something and building it. And when I get done with the next step, I look and I can't see any of it.
Yeah. Well,
there you go. Tear the form wires out of the walls and then break it down for some small wires. As long as you don't have a landline.
Yeah, we don't have a landline.
The last landline we actually had wasn't really a landline. It was, what was it? I don't even remember the name of the company, but it was the first company that did IP phone connections. It was like $12.95, and you bought this $12.95. You bought this little box that you plugged into the phone, plugged the phone into, and it literally hooked the phone into your internet, and that's how it went out.
Yeah.
That's what it was. It was the first. Well, actually, it was the second readily available VoIP system. My wife and I, when I was in Korea in 1998, used VoIP all the time. It was a program called Media Room Talk or something like that. Free program. It was awesome.
Can you guys even see what I'm doing?
I see what you're doing.
Okay.
You got the chassis. You got a paintbrush, and you're painting something on the side there.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the final interior details done so I can put it together. But right where my workbench is, the sun's starting to shine through my eyeballs.
I actually have the corner of my shop, 2 of the blinds closed completely because the snow. You saw the picture I posted on Discord, didn't you?
Yeah.
That was purposely focused on the glare outside because it was terrible. Still is terrible. I still have like 6 inches of snow in my backyard.
Do you?
Yeah, we got a good 8 to 9 inches. So bad that, after they plowed, I didn't bother to shovel the driveway.
Yeah.
Tried to go somewhere in my non-4-wheel drive Jeep and didn't make it out the driveway.
Oh, do you have a compass?
I mean, a compass a round thing?
No, the Jeep compass.
No, I have a Renegade.
Oh, that what? They made a non-4-wheel drive Renegade?
Yes.
Why?
Because it's not really a Jeep. It just says Jeep on the outside.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because Jeep made the Jeep Compass too, and it wasn't 4-wheel drive, and I was like, what's the point?
The thing is, you have people like me who I love my Renegade.
Yeah.
I never am going to go out and run in the dirt with it. I have no reason to. Those are the ones that they make, or I'm the type of person they make the non-4-wheel drive for.
Yeah.
They had a 4-wheel drive one. I didn't even want to look at the price because, what was it? I bought it in 2019. It was a 2018, and it was still $25,000.
Wow.
My wife looks at the, is it Renegade? The one that looks like a cat classic Jeep. It's not the Renegade, though. I know that it's definitely not the Renegade. The Wrangler. My wife looks at the Wrangler and she's like, "We should buy that when you retire. That should be our retirement car." And I say 2 words, 3 actually, and it dissuades her every time. You want to know what those 3 words are?
What's that?
$50,000.
Ouch.
Yes, that's the base price.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember how much because I had a 1987 Jeep Cherokee.
Mm-hmm.
You know the correct Cherokee, the one that, not the Grand Cherokee, the real one. And then I also had a 2000, I think it was a 2001 or whatever was the last year that they made them. But I always loved the original Cherokees, and I was so bummed when they decided to quit making them. Because that body style was just so nice. I think that's part of the reason why I like the old Land Rovers and stuff too, just because of that style. See, that's supposed to be black. I can't see.
And Chris said, "Who the hell buys a two-wheel drive Jeep? And who throws a shoe?" And I proudly say, me. I might buy a two-wheel drive Jeep.
I'm gonna leave that black.
No, and that's the thing is that it was $25,000 for my Jeep, and it is not a base model.
Yeah.
Only thing it doesn't have is four-wheel drive. It's got it's every car nowadays has plug in your phone, and you've got satellite navigation, but it's got all the bells and whistles that you get with a good car these days.
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask them to add anything. It had, for living in Illinois, one of the coolest things that I use all the time that it has is this little button on the key fob, on both key fobs, that I push twice. And I go out to the car 10 minutes later and it's warm.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish that my truck had that, but diesels they don't recommend them in diesels. And because you have to, warm up the glow plugs.
Yep.
And, but my truck lately, my truck's never, it's a Ford F-250 with the 6.0 in it that's been bulletproofed. Mm. But it's funny because it has never liked cold days or cold weather, and it hates, cold starts and stuff like that. And so I've had to get used to plugging it in and stuff, which, up in Washington, you didn't have to do that hardly ever. Down here, though, it gets so cold, I have to plug it in at night, and you don't want to keep them plugged in either because that will end up damaging it too, because the coolant will get all thick and nasty.
It shouldn't. Your block heater should not have any issue. Should not cause any issue with your coolants or any of your fluids.
Really? Oh, I was just told don't keep it plugged in.
In Alaska, 4 months out of the year, every single car is plugged in if it's not running.
Really? That would make sense, yeah. Especially if you want to...
If you look at unless you're at a grocery store or something like that, but if you look at like an office building, the parking lot at an office building, you will find little poles all over the lot that the only thing they have is a plug-in, a spot to plug your car in.
Yeah.
That's what those little poles are for. There are things like the airport and that. They don't do that. They don't have those. But, perfect example, a friend of mine when I was in college, about 1.5 million years ago, a friend of mine had a Ford Fairmont that he didn't plug in the day before he was flying out for Christmas vacation. And so Steve ended up he left his car with me, left his car key so I could get it thawed out and get it running by the time he came back. But it took me 24 hours straight. And I'm talking, I was out there, I'd go out there at 2 o'clock in the morning and then 3 o'clock in the morning and do some different things. Had a trickle charger on it, had the block heater on it. I burned up a flipping hairdryer trying to unstick that car.
Yeah, I believe it. I would love to live in Alaska.
You get over it.
Yeah.
I will be honest, the fact that I get one snow a year maybe that's enough to have to shovel anything, I'm perfectly content with that.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that even though I don't get the snow, I get the flipping cold weather. I'll be back in a minute. Gotta go make some tea.
Alrighty. See, that's what I was thinking too, Chris. Um, I'm not really sure how mine is set up, but a friend of mine just said, "Don't. That's better to be safe than sorry." So I don't leave it. What I do is I'll just go out and plug it in like a half an hour before I have to leave. Oh man. Yeah, Lewis. Here where we live, you couldn't live without a four-wheel drive. Um, my wife's car is not four-wheel drive, but the next one we get for her will be all-wheel drive, just because you can't not have it here. Still haven't decided
Um,
on what color I'm gonna paint the actual engine block. It's probably kind of too late to change it. Oh, that's right. I need. See, and that's the other thing is on this motor. I also don't know. I've tried looking at different pictures and stuff, but I'm not entirely sure of where the spark plugs are supposed to go. So I'm assuming from some pictures I've seen, the spark plugs are on top here, but I'm not entirely sure if that's where they go. Because to me, it would make more sense that they would be down here, but I don't know. Um, so I need to find some better reference photos. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on camera, but it's really hard. So I keep wanting to bring this under my face and this isn't the most exciting thing to do on live stream, but I just thought it would be kind of fun to hop on and attempt this. I might do that with a Sharpie because I don't think I'm going to be able to do that by hand very well. I can try. And what's weird too is there's no alternator. That always bugs me on kits because that's one of the most easily noticeable things on a engine when you open it up, is because that's usually top side. It depends on the vehicle, but for some stupid reason, this kit does not have a doesn't have an alternator, and it bugs me. I'm sure there's aftermarket like things that have been made, but one of these days when I am rich and famous, I'll get a 3D printer and I'll start printing stuff like that. I have to go back around with the black paint. All right, that's good for now.
So, Kalan,
Yeah.
Kalan, I'm gonna drop off and get painting done and stuff. Get stuff set up so that hour and a half from now or so I can live stream what's on my bench. But,
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll probably I don't know how long I'll stay on, but I'll most likely be joining you when you go on.
sounds good. Talk to you then.
All right, see ya. So let's see, before I forget, I wanted to do my exhaust tip in chrome. It's going to be almost the same color as the aluminum I put on here, but once this all gets weathered up and all that, it's going to be kind of all blended in. Chris, it's British, probably didn't have an alternator. Uh, that's probably true. Uh, now a lot of their cars are hybrids or electrics and stuff. Well, I don't know about that, but I know we're kind of heading that direction. What really kind of makes me mad is that they want to, here in California at least, they want to put a ban on two-stroke engines. So basically, and most of it's not, it has nothing to do with like your chainsaws and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with the pollution. What they're saying is it's the noise. So it's like, okay, so if you're out in the woods cutting firewood, people are going to expect to hear chainsaws. Like, I mean, what's the big deal? But yeah, they're trying to put a ban on stupid things like that. It just doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. Let's see. Yeah, so a lot of the dealers here that sell like chainsaws and different things like that, they are upping their inventory of battery operated stuff. And it's like, to me, because I own several chainsaws, and it's like, I would, the only reason I'd use an electric chainsaw is if I'm just like cutting down like one or two little branches off of a tree. Not if I'm going to go out and cut firewood. There we go. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all the chrome I wanted to do. Because I think everything else, for the most part, is good. Oh yeah. So, yeah, they banned straws in certain areas, and what's annoying too is like the um, those paper straws. They suck. Like, no pun intended. They like if you have them in like a milkshake or something, they just don't do any bit of good whatsoever. And so a lot of people are using metal straws now, which seems a little odd, but you just throw it in your, I guess a lot of ladies will throw it in their purse or whatnot. And good morning, Card Diva. How's it going? So I made a video for it, but I had to stop because if you guys watched the last Bismarck video, it's either in the last one or the one before last, I can't remember. I did the power test on the Anton turret, and because I had painted it, it wouldn't. It was the spring wasn't strong enough to allow it to move back and forth like it's supposed to. So I went to Ace and I bought some heavier duty springs, but they're too strong. So I need to go and find a kind of a in-between strength spring so that it'll actually work. But I made a video of it, and then I kind of stopped because I still need to source that out. But I I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to I have it all put away. Otherwise, I was going to bring it out and show you right now. But for the turrets themselves, they have the blast bags that go on the housing for the turret and then the barrels themselves. And I've seen people make the blast bags out of just like a glove, you know, like the nylon gloves. And I don't want to do that. I am trying to think of some other way to do it. But the nylon glove kind of makes sense because that will move with that small motion of the turret going back and forth and of it going up and down. But the ones I've seen, like on World of Wayne, they just seemed too big. And so yeah, that's kind of another thing I've been thinking on the side of how I'm going to accomplish that. And I did go and get some, if you guys saw my last supply bench, I got some Kleenex. And so I'm going to try to make the tarp for the front of the bow on that, and I should be doing a video on that here in the next few weeks. So that'll be kind of cool. But I think I've decided to go ahead and put the swastika on the bow just because it was there, and why, you know, why not? Because like if I'm going to be taking any photos of it, I'll have that tarp made so I can end up using, you know, putting the tarp on if I'm going to post those photos on Facebook or whatever, because they're so weird about it. But anyways, I just thought I'd mention that. You know, there's going to be some more stuff coming out on the Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee channel of the upgrades I'm doing for that here pretty soon. I just have to work on those videos. But I'm trying to also, with everything else I'm doing, I'm trying to get a FDNY Ladder 9 fire truck videos. I'm trying to do those once a week as well. But I did get, finally, so it's been since October since I've received anything on the Ecto 1, and last week, believe it or not, Pack 3 showed up for the Ecto 1. So I'm going to be doing a video on that too. But I think for now I'm going to just try to rotate through some of these builds that I already have going on. And I should be trying to complete a bunch of these in progress models that I've got going on. Should be completing those. Because I have a whole bunch sitting off to the side over here that, you know, I've started. I just need to get them finished. So then I can start the group builds and stuff for HobbyLink International. So let's see here.
Do you like this?
Like what? Yeah.
I was thinking 103 and a half. I need to get a tape measure out because I'm thinking, you know, where we have everything now, can this fit where the couch is?
Yeah,
now?
You might need to measure it because
I like it though. There's only 5 left, I think.
Where are they?
Wayfair. I know actually it doesn't say how many are left. The other color that I kind of do like is this.
I don't like that color.
You don't like it? Latte. Well, the only other color is
But
ginger.
it would match. I don't know, how would it look in the... Ugh.
Yeah, I thought the dark gray looked better. It comes with an ottoman that has storage in it. And it says that the cushions are removable, so it could be used to sleep on too. I don't know.
Like the two brightest things in the entire vehicle are shift knobs. One of them I assume is for 4-wheel drive. I don't know what the other one is for, but there they are. I don't know if you can see that one. You got the one red one and the one yellow one. So I'm pretty sure that I am about to that phase to where I can start putting everything together. So I'm going to do that here pretty soon. The only thing, see, I still need to paint a few black things. Let me take off my eyeballs there. And I need to do a few more things, touch up with the black. And I haven't decided if I'm going to paint the actual engine a different color. I might not at this point. I'm kind of over it with the engine because I spent all night last night up until just recently this morning on just trying to get the distributor cables done and distributor wires drilled out, because that was a headache. And I should have I started because I was getting upset and bored with you know, trying to drill those out, that I started just painting all the accessory parts to the engine, and I should have painted the actual engine block before I did all that. So the engine block is kind of, it's in that oily steel, the Vallejo oily steel, and it doesn't look too bad for the most part. So I might just leave it like that. Chris, manual transmission. Yeah. So there's your shifter. Oh, here. So there's your shifter, and then there's your brake, and then the red one I'm assuming is for your 4-wheel drive, and then the yellow one I don't really know, because so on the Land Rovers I'm not too familiar with their components, but you'd think I don't know, because you'd think it would just be one. Like on our cars here in the U.S., when you have the floor shifter for the 4-wheel drive, it's just one lever, and this one has two. So I'm not really sure, because so there's your brake, here's the manual shifter, then the red one I'm assuming would be for your 4-wheel drive, but then the yellow one, it maybe it has something to do with engaging the front and the rear, maybe engaging just the front, I don't know. So it's all something I'll have to Google. I just haven't really spent a lot of time thinking about it until the other day, and I was like, well, this is weird. But hey, Mark in Edinburgh, the modeling cave, or sorry, Mark in Edinburgh, modeling man cave. It's good to see you, Mark. Afternoon all. Sorry I'm late to the show, but I was out doing a few things. No worries. You're not late, Mark. This is just kind of a random thing I decided to do today because I'm stuck here at the workbench just doing some painting and final touch up on the Land Rover before I start putting her all together. And so it's always kind of fun just to pop on and do a random live stream, you know. So I still have to clear coat a bunch of stuff, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to piece everything together and then get mostly everything I can put together, and then I'll clear coat the interior and do all that stuff. So that, of course, I'll do over at the paint booth. So that should be what I do in the next video. Let me see. So I'm gonna do the gloss black. And let's see, I'm trying to think because there was something else I needed to use. Oh, that's right, the bumpers. I knew I forgot something. Hold on, I need to get a glove so I can open up my paint. Put my little eyeballs back on here. And hopefully I'm still on camera. Like I said, it's kind of hard to do this to paint and stay on camera. That. And I think that is literally the last thing I needed to paint on that section. Then we've got the dashboard. So I'm kind of on the fence about this. I think I will do all of these parts in black. Try to stay on camera here. And then I'll just touch up those details later. I need to check the decal sheet too and see if the decal sheet had any instruments or panels or anything on it. I don't recall it having any, but I'll check here in just a moment. Like I said, apologize. It's really difficult to try to stay in the range of the camera while I'm painting. Might as well do where's my light? Okay. Then I'm not really sure what, so it's got this little area in the middle there. I don't really know what that is. I'm gonna do the vents in this black. Too much paint. Oh man, see, I always do that. I don't know what part I touched. I'll just add some glue or paint on there and try not to put that finger down on anything. Scale Model Ninja is Ross, I believe, right? It's been a while since I've popped onto one of your streams the other day, but I couldn't stay very long. It's good to see you. And Kenny, always good to see you. Too much paint on my brush. Okay, you're not going to see all the detail of the vents anyway, right? So that is pretty much, I think, all I can do with the black. There were a couple areas here I wanted to possibly touch up before I start putting everything back together. See, that one looks good. Right here. Kind of actually looked more like chips in the paint, which kind of would have been fine to keep. There we go. And then I know I had, those are going to be a different kind of black, so we don't need this anymore. Ooh, nice. That's really cool. The 148th Kitty Hawk Huey Viper. Posted that video yet? And Lewis is back. Sorry, just had to have roast gammon with all the trimmings. Nice. Yeah, Melissa is currently looking for a new sofa for our living room to replace the old hand-me-downs that we got. So sounds like our tax return will be a new sofa, which I'm perfectly happy with. We definitely do need something, and then we want to get rid of the sofa it's kind of a love seat that's here in this room, and put in a day bed, so when we do have guests over, they can at least have a little more comfortable place to stay. Okay. And Kenny was saying editing a review for Cosmic Scale Model Star Trek Voyager Delta Flyer. And Mark was saying, well, I'm sanding down all the parts on the Tamiya H2R bike that I'm going to paint in a Gundam paint style. You know, that'll look really, really awesome. I look forward to seeing that. I see you're starting to post a lot more now that things are warming up in your shop, Mark, so that's cool. You always have a lot of different projects that you do throughout the year too. You complete more models than I start. Okay, so last couple of things I did want to see. I'm going to cheat a little bit and use the marker, and I just want to put a little different color into the dashboard here. I don't care if I go a little bit over. Because what I can do real quickly, if I hurry, with these markers, I can come in and just kind of clean up this area, and then it'll just also be easy to hit it up with the paintbrush and just repaint that section just around the edge here. So I think that's what I will do instead. I keep touching that one spot. And Lewis saying, "Oh, a daybed for guests. Let me just pack Connor and Paige's bags." There you go. They would both fit on a daybed. And I've just started the Tacom 135th Tiger tank with full interior. Nice. To go along with your shell. Mark was saying it's still too cold for the 2K clear for the Foose truck, and the 135th Sherman tank is still in the weathering stage. Right on. Yeah. Thankfully, I can paint most everything in here inside the house, so because I have the fan set up to exhaust everything out. I still need to get a more powerful fan though, because the fan that I do have, or actually I have two fans, and they just don't draw enough air out. So if I am going to be painting anything like rattle canning and stuff, I have to do it outside. And here, yeah, it's better to wait till springtime. Even like in the summertime, it's almost too hot to paint. Like I did whenever I paint anything, and it gets really dusty here is part of the problem too. So if I can paint in my garage, that tends to keep the dust down. Otherwise, if I'm painting outside, it's too hot. Okay, so just a couple of things to touch up here. I haven't decided yet either on the hinges for the door, or for the hood, if I'm going to paint them like a different color or not. I was thinking about painting them like almost like an aluminum or just a dark steel. Just haven't quite made an official decision on that yet. Go. I think that's good. I forgot I need to do the chrome. I need to chrome the bumper, and then I think I'm ready to start piecing everything back together. And for that, I won't be doing that on Livestream, I don't think, because I need to record that for the next phase of this build. But I'm sure I'm probably not going to get around to it because I'm going to find something else I need to paint or touch up here. But what I was thinking was at least putting the interior completely together and putting the whole, tub together, and then just clear coating the whole thing while it's put together, because I know I'm gonna have to do some touch-up paint where maybe there's some areas that didn't fill in, but for the most part it does cover up the white, so we'll see. I kind of feel like I'm doing things a little backwards, but I don't know. Queen Mary 2, Bismarck hood, just saying. Yeah. The hood, I was thinking, because I think I did find a 1/350 scale hood. So I was thinking about getting that, but the 1/200 is not available yet. And it's killing me because I know if I'm patient, one will pop up eventually, but I really want to get the 1/200, even though I'm not going to build it anytime soon. It would just be nice to have it in hand, I can't remember what color I used for. See, that's the aluminum. I thought I used dark iron, but dark iron, maybe it was the metallic gray. No, it was dark iron. So I'll come back to that. I'm going to use or paint. Hey, Steve from the Maker's Cave. How's it going? Good to see you, buddy. I got your email, and I will... let me report this spammer real quick. I got your email, and I will... thanks for sending over those. I will send you a couple of different options for my logo, but my logo is changing, believe it or not, and it's going to be about a month or two before that happens, but I'll send you the current logo. But right now I've got a gentleman in Australia by the name of Vince. He is currently working on a new logo for me. So once that is all finalized and said and done, then I will be changing the logo. So I don't know if you just want me to wait until I have the new one, or I can go ahead and send you what I have now. So it's up to you, Steve. Trumpeter 1/350 or Tamiya 1/350. What? Tamiya? So, Lewis, here's my question. So, I have always steered away from the Tamiya because I'm confused by whether or not it's a waterline model or if it's not, because I've seen some that say only, and then I don't know if some of the other kits are have the full hull on it, or if it's a waterline only. And I was told it should say waterline only if it's a waterline only kit, but I don't want to buy one thinking I'm getting a good deal, and then all of a sudden it's just the waterline hull. Because I'd like to have, I don't like the waterline hulls. I want the whole hull of the ship. And so that's kind of why I've always steered away from the Tamiya kits for ships and stuff. Okay, let's try to do this without screwing this up. And I think, so I'm going to do the back first. All right, Steve. Yeah, I will. I'll get back to you on that. I don't think I'm going to worry about doing that section. So I'm going to try to, I got to try to do this with a steady hand. Which is not working too well. Oh, this is going to need a... I forgot to do the chrome on the bumpers when I was airbrushing, and so now I'm having to paint it on, and it's not going to look very good. But it's a bumper. The one thing I've noticed with this, the chrome, especially for the Tamiya, is it airbrushes on way better than it hand brushes on. But I've also seen people hand brush it and it just turns out really pretty, so I don't know. You guys can't even see what I'm doing. I apologize for that. Just wanted to pop in and say hi. Headed to the cave to do some videos. Right on, Steve. Thank you so much for popping in, and I look forward to seeing you get back to work in the new man cave. Really cool looking space, Steve. So thanks so much for popping in. Okay. I may have to come back and hit that with another coat, but it's actually settling fairly decently. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. And then try to think of anything else I needed chrome before I put this away. Did want to hit these mirrors up maybe one more time. And Too Tall Model Car Garage, how's it going? Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. That's funny too because they give you decals for the mirrors, but I don't know if I'm going to necessarily use them. Might. I'll go ahead and, even though I'm not using these, I'll paint them up. So today I'm working on the Revell 1/25th scale Land Rover Series 3 109. And not sure if I was gonna, I don't think these really need any, well, might as well. Since I've got the chrome silver out. Might as well give them a second little dab of chrome. What I was thinking about doing for the mirrors was I have the bare metal foil, and I was thinking I might attempt to use the bare metal foil, the really shiny one, for the mirror inserts, because basically the decals that they want you to use don't look any different than this Tamiya chrome silver paint. So I was just thinking the bare metal foil chrome actually looks a whole heck of a lot shinier and more like glass than the mirrors do. So then, you know what, no, I was considering using the bare metal foil for the on the body, but I'm actually going to not use that. I might try the all clad. Let's see, very nice. Is that the one in the very, yes. Yeah, it's the one at Hobby Lobby in the big box. And so I'll tell you what, get it when it's on the 40% off because it's totally worth it. And gosh, it's a nice model. It is so nice. In fact, I am going to get a couple more because I like it so much. It's such a nice kit. It goes together very, very well. And I have absolutely enjoyed building this. So much so I want to build a couple more, so I will be doing that. And I think the last thing before I put my chrome away, let's just paint this guy up again. You've never used bare metal foil, just used the chrome pen. See, I don't have a chrome pen, and I thought about it, but I don't know, like they're so expensive, and for a while they were almost impossible to find. But I do like the looks of how things turn out with the chrome pens that I've seen. So the Molotov or whatever chrome pen, and I know you can get refills for it, but it's funny because the refills, they seem like they're almost as expensive as the pen, as the actual pen itself. So I don't know how long they last, but tin foil works too. Yeah, they actually that's the really cheap tin foil that you can get at like Walmart does wonders. It's amazing. I'm gonna have metal flake on this brush for the rest of its life now. Lewis, I'm sure you could. All you'd have to do is leave one of the drive lines out, and then it would be two-wheel drive. So Kenny was saying I just ordered Green Stuff World Chrome. I've never heard of that. I do have so it's kind of a super secret kit that it's not so secret, but secret. It's another Land Rover, and I think it's a Series 3, but it's a die-cast model. And so it was actually pre-built. It doesn't have near as much like interior and engine detail, but I was gonna maybe mod it a little bit. And it's already painted. The metal body is already painted red. So I'm going to strip it and then repaint it and do all that work on it. And maybe do some interior upgrades to it. I don't have a motor for it though. But it's roughly the same size as, it's actually bigger I think than this one. But it's all torn apart. I have it all torn apart in a tub right now because I was going to get it ready to strip the paint off the die-cast metal body, but that's going to be a project that I'll do down the road and later this year, and really excited to kind of get some detail work done on that. See, the bare metal foil is pretty easy. Just make a template first and cut out what you need. I've used the chrome foil around the window for the foos truck. Oh, nice. Nice, Mark. I think you did a video once where I think I saw you use the chrome foil before. And Too Tall saying sometimes the 1mm tip gets gummed up, so I'll just dump it in a napkin and use a fine line brush. Yeah. That all clad, I tempted to, I really want to try the all clad, but I am concerned about how it will react with like Tamiya clear coats and stuff like that. I don't think it should react because I think I've seen other people use it before with the, on top of Tamiya paints, but they might have been using not lacquers, but yeah, lacquers. They might have been using the lacquer paint and not the acrylic. Let's see, what was I going to do? Oh yes, I also need to touch up with my royal blue. What time is it? It's 9:30, so I'll probably be on for just a little bit longer, and then Top's going to be on and broadcasting from Discord onto his channel, so I'll probably switch over to that when that time comes. Oh man. So this is the Dark Iron XF84, and sadly this is really hard to get right now. It might be available but in some shops, but I haven't been able to find it. And I dumped this all over my desk the other day, like it was probably maybe a month ago, and this is the only bottle I have left, and I love this Dark Iron. It's a really cool color. So yeah, I need to try to find some more. Let's see here. What I was going to do with this is I just need to touch up a couple of things. There we go. Kind of want that color difference there. And Mark was saying, yeah, that was kitchen foil. Exactly, that's what I thought it was. It did work, but I had to place a flat piece of plastic as a insert into the wing mirror so the foil can be laid flat with a tiny bit of PVA glue to stick it. Look for the Mr. Metal Dark Iron as it's buffable and looks great for dry brushing car paints. Then need a worn look. Nice. So Mr. Metal Dark, is that the Mr. Color, or is it actually called Mr. Metal Dark? Oh, too much. There we go. And I've got way too much on my brush. That's what I hate. Actually, you know what? This is a flat, so it does kind of suck into it a little bit, and you don't lose as much detail as I think you do with glosses. Glosses seem to fill in a lot of detail, and that's one thing I've kind of learned is using the flats most of the way through, and then just using a gloss clear coat saves you big time if you're worried about losing any detail. Mr. Color, okay, Mr. Metal Color Dark Iron. Cool, yeah, Mark, thank you. I'll be looking for that. I don't know how much on this particular build I'm going to weather this vehicle. I might not weather this one, and may wait for the next one because I do want to build another one of these for a diorama, and that one would look really cool, kind of weathered up. So I may not even weather this one. I haven't quite decided yet. I could get bored and end up weathering it just for fun. And then the license plates. So the license plate brackets and all that, they wanted you to paint black, but I was painting them white. And then I started thinking about it, and I wasn't sure if I liked the white. I think it would look good with the blue. And then that was another thing with the body. I still haven't decided if I'm going to clear coat it or leave it or do the flat coat. I'm leaning towards the flat coat because flat is so much more painless, and the majority of the Land Rovers that you do see are kind of a pastel color. And I think if I was, because I decided to paint this one up the way I would paint one if I owned it in real life. And so it's kind of like, I don't know if I'd want it glossy or not, you know? All right, Lewis, take care, and I'll see you later. Have a good night, and have fun at work tomorrow. I'll probably talk to you at some point. Yeah, I haven't tried the Tamiya Weathermaster. The I was kind of had my mind set on using oils and stuff to do a lot of weathering, but I don't, it might be good for certain accents here and there. I don't know, but I definitely want, especially with the tank, with the Sherman tank that I'm going to be building for the group build on HobbyLink International. I'm going to try a bunch of different weathering techniques on that, and just kind of hone my skills a little bit. So I might be like the ammo. Ammo makes a lot of good weathering kits and stuff. And I was thinking about trying theirs. Okay, there was one last thing. What was I going to do? Oh, that's right. Out the royal blue. And Mark was saying you can spray it, let it dry, then give it a rub to bring the dark metal look. Flat, clear over it. Great for old engines and tanks. Nice. Okay, so just want to touch this up real quick. Oh shoot, using the wrong color. I think this is the wrong color. I might be wrong. No, I think this is right. If I remember right, this dries a lot lighter. If not, oh well. Oh, come on. Let's see. Mark was saying, the key to the Sherman tank is color modulation of the olive drab, aka real colors, to a paint set of olive drab and is dead flat. That's how I've done mine. I use AK interactive stuff and MIG. And Tutal was saying it works really well on matte clear coat. What if you use it on a regular clear coat? You have to apply several coats for it to stand out, like for dirt and stuff. And then he was also saying, I'm currently working on a diorama simulating a car chase from the 50s, 41 Plymouth Moonshine Runner and a 48 Ford police car. That is really cool. That'll be awesome. I'll leave that right where it's at. And then the only other thing I have to really paint is the inside of the little fuel filler. And with that, I think we're pretty much done with everything I needed to paint before I can start putting all of this back together. Go. Pretty sure I don't need any of this. Got that all painted, and the wheel wells are all painted. This is actually the most productive painting session I've had in a couple of days. So thank you everybody that's joined in. It's been a lot of fun. I know it's not the most exciting thing to watch somebody paint, but I do appreciate the company and conversation. Definitely makes things go a little bit smoother and faster for me. And it also keeps me a little bit entertained as well while I'm doing the thing I hate to do the most, which is painting. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Is that Bud? Or is that Top? Oh, it's Top. Hey, Top.
Yeah, it is me. I'm just getting set up. No rush.
Yeah. I have you seen Bud today? I haven't seen him.
Have not seen Bud.
He's probably out doing adult stuff.
That's no fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that everything is looking good in OBS.
Oh,
Then
yeah.
of course I need to make sure I have my headphones close by just in case my audio plays stupid again like it does. Oh, I don't know. 18 times out of 15.
Yeah. Let's see.
By the way,
Yeah.
I've decided I like Stynylrez primer.
I'm on the fence. I like it, but I like it as to when its performance is good. what I don't like, and it's probably all my fault, is I can't get the black and the gray to flow without drying on my tip. And
I got a little bit. I got a little bit of tip dry, but I went through a full cup, and it did 3/4 of the Queen Mary 2 on this bottom side,
yeah,
and I didn't have any problem with it. Other than the tip dry, and it never stopped flowing because of it. It was very
yeah.
minor tip dry.
I have to pump the pressure up to 35 and keep it flowing. If I
What,
stop, I'm screwed. I
what,
got
size,
it.
what
Huh?
size needle are you using?
A 0.6.
Really?
Yeah, and at a
Are you
point
using?
at a
Are you
0.6
using?
needle, it should flow no problems.
Are you using any flow improver?
I haven't with the Style Res because the only I don't have any flow improver. I need to get some. The only thing I have, and uh, I mixed it one time and it curdled, but the Mister whatever leveling thinner, I
Yeah.
I mixed that with it and it curdled.
I wouldn't use thinner because it's water based. If you're gonna try and thin it, use water.
Yeah, I think, and that's so with the Vallejo. I thinned the Vallejo once, and it ended up spitting, and I don't know why it would do that. So I will never use Vallejo primer ever again. But
So,
the Style Res, the dull pink Style Res, that stuff, like I can run that through my with a point 0.3 needle on and no problems whatsoever. But the
well,
black and the gray, I always have issues with those.
well, there's the gray that I just shot.
Like, oh, I see it now. Nice.
Yeah, and it looks to me awesome. Like I said, there's a couple of spots. And
Yeah.
actually, I need to say it here. There's a spot here, but they're not big enough that I mean, this part I probably won't even worry about. I just touched it, damn it.
Don't touch it.
But now I will sand it, but I don't have to really worry about it because it's on the bottom of the boat.
Oh, Mark is saying warm the primer in water. See, he says warm the primer in water before you paint, and you need a point 0.5 needle at 30 psi. So I've heard that before too, Mark. That warming it in water does make a world of difference. So like in warm water or hot water, I assume you don't want hot water, right? So is that so the part laying closest to you on the workbench, is that the upper deck or is that the lower deck?
This is the first main deck.
That's the main deck. It's a lot
Yes, this is
it's a lot narrower than I thought it would be.
well, it's the first main deck because you've got these two decks in the aft and this deck in the fore that go in front, go on down before it.
Okay.
My mouse is being stupid today. I have no mouse pointer.
Yeah, Mark, I tend to shake the Stynylres for quite a while because mine settles, which I think is pretty common for that. The only thing that I try to use a strainer at times. I try to use a strainer at times, but the strainer, because I worry about chunks and stuff, the strainer has often made things worse for some reason. And I don't feel like it should, because it's straining out any, chunks that might be in there too. But I don't know. A lot of people don't even bother straining their paint when they put it into their airbrush, and I always felt like that was my biggest issue, was that I was getting chunks of something in there.
I put this straight into the airbrush from the ball. The key thing that I used,
Yeah.
this thing.
Your personal pleasure device.
Exactly.
See, Mark says
Matter
he
of fact,
uses a baby warmer to heat it up, low setting, but I use Mr. Surfacer 1200. Stinks, but brilliant black and gray. Yeah, I just bought some of the Mr. Surfacer, and I'm going to try it on the New Orleans, when I paint the New Orleans. So, Top, I can't sort out how to change my camera. Do I have to have if I want
how to change it?
So let's say no. If I want to switch to my face cam, do I have to have that set up in a separate scene, or do I have to have that set up in a source under my scene for Discord?
I have mine set up in a scene.
In a separate scene. Okay.
Yes, I have. For my cameras, I have the Discord one. I have the C22, which is what I'm currently on. I have my generic one, which the C22 and the generic one argue, so I actually have to shut off video and turn it back on Discord. On OBS, I have all my cameras. When they are not active, they shut down. And then my 615 is I have a separate scene for each camera.
Okay.
And they're all identical, with the exception of the camera that's in there.
Okay.
Okay, so it looks like everything is good. Note to self: get a paint mask. Stop painting inside my sunroom without a paint mask. That's why I'm coughing. Actually, it wasn't the painting; it was the cleaning. I had one of those little jars out of it. So I guess later on this afternoon, I will actually just do a full-on cleaning on the brush.
Yeah, my airbrush is still torn apart from the last time. It was weird. I'm trying to remember if it might have been New Year's when I last used it, and I thought I was gonna come back and clean it, but like right after I was done using it, but I think something had happened, and I must have gotten distracted or something, and then we left to go to her parents' house for New Year's, and I had forgotten to clean it out. And so the next day I stripped it down and soaked it, but I just haven't put it back together.
Never ever leave the brush with paint in it.
Yeah. No, yeah, I was so bummed.
Well, as soon as I got done painting, I ran thinner through it to clean it, cleaner, and it's now clean. It's just that, what was I going to say?
All right, take care, Mark. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you later.
It needs a deep cleaning because when I switched needles, the
Uh-huh.
one that was in there has some paint on it. No, and what you need to do, truthfully, what you need to get yourself is a ultrasonic cleaner. You just put some water in there and let it sit. Or not let it sit, but run the cycle. It's like a 7-minute cycle. I usually run it about 2 cycles, so about 14, 15 minutes, and you can actually see the paint coming off the parts.
Yeah.
God, love my cold. You want some?
Nope.
You sure?
Yep.
That's funny. Kenny just posted, actually, I don't know how long ago he posted, he said, hurry up over on my channel. So I'm actually firing up my slides.
Says the man who won't live stream until he gets FiOS.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm pretty much at a point to where I can start putting stuff together.
So by the way, you to join the Discord live stream on my YouTube?
Yeah.
Nothing. Leave your camera up. Because I will actually be streaming the window that is there now.
Okay.
So your window's already there. Wait, I believe that is Donnie?
Yeah, I think Donnie just popped in.
Yep.
How do I... There we go.
Could be.
Nice.
Maybe.
I found you.
How goes it, Donnie?
Do what?
How goes it?
Oh, same old, same old. How about y'all?
Pretty good.
Fantastic. I cleaned my airbrush in an enclosed room and now I'm coughing.
Oh, the good fumes.
The Stano Res didn't do anything.
I actually like the
Yeah.
smell of Stynylrez. I think that Stynylrez actually smells good.
Oh, come on, Donnie and I are old enough. Paint smells good.
Right? That was the first thing I noticed when I got started painting minis. I did models when I was a kid. And then, 20 years later, I started painting minis, and everything was acrylic paint and all that then. And the first bottle of paint I cracked open, I'm like, where'd the smell go?
Well, what's funny is this stuff, the red tube, and the liquid tester's paint, it's not MEK, it smells fruity.
Yeah. That's funny because I just got some Mr. Color, and the second I opened it up, that was the first thing I noticed was the MEK. Because I was like, when I was still in high school, my dad, he worked for a flooring company, and we did seamless epoxy floors. And we used MEK for everything, and we'd even wash our hands with the stuff. And I can recognize that smell. It's practically illegal here in California.
Yeah, if you look at the ingredients for the red tube, it says contains toluene.
Really?
Yeah.
My eyes are not quite that good.
I know, I need my reading glasses.
Isn't that the stuff that's an artificial sweetener these days?
No, I don't think so. Isn't toluene like nail polish remover or something?
That could be.
I'm sure Google will know.
Oh, let's see.
I'm looking at it and I don't see anything for ingredients at all. I see instructions, directions, and directives.
Out there where it says caution, it says contains toluene, contains oil of mustard.
Mustard gas, yes!
And it also says this product contains a chemical known to the state of California to produce birth defects or other reproductive harm.
That same
Everything.
that same label's on a piano.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know how much time I spent using this stuff when I was a kid? And I still have 2 kids. So.
Well, see, that's the thing is MEK and what is it? The I forget the flippin' paint. It's green or yellow. Those are they were great when I was in the service, and they took them away. All right, guys, just to let you know, going live. Hey, everybody out there in YouTube land, hopefully you can hear me and I don't have to throw on a headset. If you can't, let me know. Hopefully you can hear me now. Never mind, I just popped on the speaker and turned it off. So welcome to today's Sunday stream. I hope you like the new name of it. On YouTube, we're just going to keep it the Sunday stream, but I like, Eric and I were goofing this morning, and it is now the Great Midwest Live HLI Discord live stream or something like that.
We make the models on YouTube.
Yes, that's exactly what we've doing. So today I'll be working on parts for the Queen Mary 2. Posted a video yesterday. Not sure what you're working on, Kalan. Looks like a semi.
No, it's the Revell 125th scale Land Rover Series 3 109.
Actually, and I heard you on your stream earlier, that is a big kit. Or, look, it's a big box. The kit is about a normal size kit.
Yeah.
I actually have that one in my stash. When I first saw it, I don't know if it was when it was first released, but when I saw it, I was like, I need that.
Yeah, it's a cool kit.
Good. That's how my stash has ended up so huge, is I see kits and I need them. Not I want them, I need them. And Donnie's working on an upside down Datsun 240Z.
Right?
I don't know if you realize that on Discord you're upside down. I wouldn't worry about moving your camera or anything, because when you start working...
I was trying to figure out how to fix that. I think I'll have to open up OBS and do it from there.
Well, I think all you can do to fix that is actually physically rotate your camera.
Nah, I can fix it in OBS. Just can't fix it in Discord.
That's weird. When you fix it in OBS, is it going to fix it in Discord?
If you set OBS, set Discord to OBS Virtual, and then turn on the virtual camera in OBS.
I see. So you're doing things I don't do.
He's braver than I am.
So 300-pound leprechaun, glad to be back. The whole reason the Sunday stream went away was for about a month.
Hey, look, I'm not upside down anymore.
I see that. But the whole reason the stream went away was the same reason that my Tuesday live stream went away. You know, after we down, you know, that was a week, and then I got sick with the cold. I've still got it. I don't think it's a cold, but I have an appointment on Thursday to go see my PCM and say, dude, I've had this off and on for 3 months. Fix it. That's how you talk to your doctor, right? Hey, Kenny. Kenny's calling us kids. I believe, well, actually, I don't know. I know he's younger than both me and Donnie. Don't know.
Who, Kenny?
Yeah. Kenny's a youngin'.
44? 43? If I remember right. I could be wrong.
Actually, I think he's 40.
That's ever happened.
Yeah, he just said 50 this year. Because when you said 43, 44, I was like, but Eric is 10 years and like 4 days behind me. Eric turns 47 this year, and I turn 50.
Ah.
And speaking of which, Eric is in the currently, or probably still, in the Sith Church. And I actually put it on Discord today. He's not going to make it because his back is still screwed up because he fell on it again.
What, how did he fall on his back?
I heard him say something about that on Discord.
Yeah, he fell on it while he was on sleep meds. The only reason he knew that he had fallen was because he woke up and his back hurt and he had a quarter-sized bruise. So...
Wow, that's serious sleep meds.
Yeah. I think he's just on Ambien. It's just that...
well, that's a serious dosage of sleep meds then.
I mean, he's been on them for a long time. And Leprechaun, you're not that this year. You know, it is what it is, man. I am older than that, almost... I was going to say,
someday.
I'm older than everybody in my office. Except for one, and I believe Jim is 64, but not planning on retiring until he's 67.
Yeah, this thing had solid rubber tires. When's the last time you saw solid rubber tires in a model?
Oh no,
not hollow, solid.
Well, hollows I think is better because it's more realistic, but you know, anything that's not a plastic tire is a bonus these days.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I hate plastic tires.
Okay. So just to let everybody see, did some work today on the hull of the Queen Mary. I've got certain spots taped primer in there, like the if anybody watched my video yesterday, I called these what wings or something like that. They come out, they basically stabilize the ship in heavy seas.
They're called stabilizers.
Are they? Yeah. There you go. But I didn't paint the inside of them. They're still white inside because what I'm going to do is when I paint this, which is a mixed color, over the bottom of the hull, I'm going to spray inside of them too. Let me see. You're right. It barely fits when I've got my camera, when it's about 3 feet away from the camera. Yeah, but the stabilizer, it is. Well, and the funny thing is, it's the same size as my Titanic at 350. Well, or a smaller scale, 1/450 for my Revell Titanic. The Revell side of it, and I did a little bit of reading, and size of the compared to the Queen Mary 2 is 3 times the size total tonnage and space wise, 3 times the size of the Titanic. It's impressively large. And so here's what I'm gonna. Kalan was talking about pretty boring watching people watching him paint. Well, during his live stream that ended right as I started this, it's kind of what I'm doing today.
Painting?
Yes, I'm either painting, kicking around the idea of. Thanks, Liz. I love it too. I'm still kicking around the idea of starting a model for the World War II tank group build. There, it's the one I won when Kenny was still able to stream. The Soviet T-26 light infantry tank. But then I'm going to get sidetracked and work just on that.
Nice. I'm going to try to glue these panels on.
I just looked at the instructions and I didn't glue. Actually, it's kind of funny. It looks like the instructions show the painting key in step 10, telling me that I should paint in step 10. And then I should put the motor pods on, or the engine pods, or whatever you want to call them. Yes, Luce, there's a World War.
Let me see.
If you go over to the main site, the rules should be there.
If 300-pound year was this kit made? It was made in 2002.
Hey GB, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you, and glad to be back.
What's going on, GB?
So I'm going to try brush painting this deck. With this paint I mixed last night. Hopefully it will work. Speaking of which, so far have not had a problem with the interesting. So
I've been able to try those.
Yeah.
And you said you were going to get them, so I figured I'd let you be the test monkey.
Yeah. Well, see, the only thing I've had so far is the rust for this color. This is 75% rust. Was really, really thick. I used a pipette, and it was very hard to get it out of the container and into here. The gray and the black went together well. The beige and the white, and I realized yesterday, because I've had them, I have them in a drawer for glue syringes. I have a few of these from when my wife was getting a I forget what it was, but she was getting shots for this, and I was giving them. Threw the needle away, kept the syringe. These work awesome when you poke them down in the paint. Pull it.
Come in handy for a lot of things.
Pardon?
Those can come in handy for a lot of things.
Yes. I originally got them for glue, but they're going to be for And
They're
the plasma.
awesome for cleaning out an airbrush too.
Had not thought about that.
You suck the water up in it, then you squirt it down in there, you know, and blast
Yeah.
all the.
Oh, I just glued myself to my project.
That's okay. If you don't do that at
That
least
is
once,
part of building a model. If you don't glue yourself to the model at least once, you're doing it wrong.
exactly.
That's what I tell myself anyway.
Lewis said he's disappearing in a minute for a bath, and Kenny said, "Thanks for the info, Lewis. We shouldn't be picturing you in the bath. Make sure you have your rubber ducky." 300-pound leprechaun said, "Okay, thanks, Donnie." And let's see who all is in right now.
Make sure you have your rubber ducky.
Yes. We got Kenny. We have 300-pound leprechaun. Lewis, maybe still. GB, and that's all I see in the chat. So let me find
USS Enterprise, is that the aircraft carrier or the starship?
If he's taking a bath, my guess would be that that's the carrier.
Hey, you never know.
That's just my guess. And I don't know if you guys do it, but I do it all the time. I'm on step 11, or actually step 10 because I'm painting the hull. But I'm working on step 13 because these decks need some paint. This one actually will get, instead of getting paint, let's see, make sure. This will be my first wooden deck on the wing bear.
Really?
Yep. In the build process, this is the first one.
Did and that came with the platinum kit?
Yes. You didn't watch my out-of-box review of the platinum, did you?
No, I think I
Because it had, I think I went through all the parts.
I watched
didn't
Eric.
see-
I think I know I watched Eric's, but I didn't see yours. Eric's isn't a platinum though, is it?
No, Eric's is a standard one that was issued in 2004 that I bought and then sold to him when the platinum came out.
Okay.
So just to give you a quick look over, SCAD's a PE. All of this is PE, you know, the deck of the tennis courts and stuff. Actually, and this here, there's a decal for this, for the glass around the tennis courts. The PE replaces it.
Yeah.
And then all the decks that are actually visible outside have wooden decks for them, and then there's some brass parts. And don't let these parts fool you. Where this thing looks like it's an inch long. Actually, let me see if I can find it real quick. It is tiny.
That's one of the railings that's still not been put on my USS Enterprise aircraft carrier.
Because they're so tiny?
Because they're tiny.
So yeah.
Put it this way, that kit's what, 1/400 scale?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
The USS Enterprise is 1/700.
Oh, good Lord.
Your Enterprise is?
So you see how long these are in the picture. Those parts are right there.
Oh, that's
Finger
not
for
so
reference.
small.
Finger for reference. They're about half the size of what it shows. The fun part of this is going to be painting the photo etch and not having the paint fall off. But I do these things. I love it.
Oh man.
Paintbrush. And by the way, when I realized how far I could get the paint to go with the Stynylrez,
Yeah.
I was concerned I was going to not have enough of these two because these are both just sprayed. I'm pretty pleased with how much I'm going to have available. This, on the other hand, is all brush painting. Every one of these little decks, this entire deck. So this one's going to be interesting. I've been looking at it and I'm sitting here going, I may need to order more paint. Yes. Okay, so Lewis confirmed that he has the aircraft carrier, the 1/350 scale aircraft carrier from Tamiya in the bathtub with him.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Kenny has ran to go get a Dr. Pepper. And Lewis said that next time he would throw, well, and Kenny also said he would love to build it. He has to build it again. Lewis said next time he would throw every bit of aftermarket at it. He would, and hope it sticks. Photo etch. So, Lewis, I'm not sure your comment 17. Oh, you're talking about Donnie's 1700 Enterprise, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, 1700 is not in Lewis's vocabulary.
No such thing.
Why not?
Kenny agrees with Lewis. There is no such thing as 1/700th scale. And Eric is giving us a play-by-play. Church is over, and now he's in line to get Burger King.
Hey, get us some too.
That's what I was thinking.
Damn it. I have... Oh, man.
Here, guys,
This is why I will
Here's
never
a
use pens again.
this little drop of paint, I'm going to try and cover this entire deck with.
I doubt that's going to happen.
You'd be surprised. This stuff is actually really good at covering. Plus, I can leave brush strokes because this actually is going to be between two decks. You're not going to see it unless you get right up on the model and stick your face into the deck.
You don't know it's there, Buck.
I know it's there, and I do. Haven't you heard Eric talk about what I tell him about the 6-foot test?
Yeah.
Looks good at 6 foot. It should be good enough. Plus, this
Why
color.
didn't you put all those 3D decals on the F-16 then?
Because I didn't realize I wouldn't see them at all. That was the first and last time I used those decals.
Well, that was not following your 6-foot rule because you're not going to stay inside the cockpit at 6 foot.
Right. I came up with that 6-foot rule recently. I think
After you put those decals on?
yes, I think the F-16 is actually what caused me to get the 6-foot rule.
I'd love to get some of those decals for a Corsair, just for the heck of it.
Yeah. Get them. They're not bad. They look really cool. It's just that as soon as I put a pilot in there, I couldn't see any of them.
So don't put a pilot in.
Exactly. If you're
Have
going
it landed.
to use a decal, those decals, don't put a pilot in. And I agree with Shu that all the planes should be built, or most planes should be built in flight. So leave the canopy open, no pilot, and put the gear up.
Well, I have two Corsairs that I built landed, one Corsair that I built flying, and another one in the box.
See, I think when I build my Corsair, I want it. I think I want it on the ground.
Well, I
Actually,
bought the Tamiya one specifically because you could build it with the wings folded.
Yeah, that's a nice kit. I
I
have
wanted one with the wings folded.
I have the Revell kit, which isn't terrible, but I would love to get that Tamiya kit.
Well, the Revell kit is a good kit, except for the wing folding mechanism, which, if you build it with that folding mechanism, looks absolutely terrible
Does it?
because the wings do not line up right. I couldn't get them to line up right anyway.
Yeah.
I ended up just taking out the little mechanism and building it with the wings down.
I actually thought you were going to say, if you build it, they will come.
They will.
Yeah, I for the Rebel kit, I definitely think I'm gonna have it landed.
I think I actually have the Tamiya kit because of you, Donnie.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I have gotten all the mileage out of that drop of paint that I'm going to get. I mean, literally. Sorry about the strobing, guys.
You get a couple bottles of that Revell paint and give it a try.
I mean, look at how dry that spot is. You guys saw how small a drop I used.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty good. And any streaking, like right here, doesn't matter because that's supposed to be the wooden floor.
If you mix just a towel of water with it, there wouldn't be no streaking.
Yeah, true. The true test is going to be here, and Oz Scale Modeling on YouTube, I think that's his channel, is building the Queen Mary 2 Platinum Edition as well. And he's already worked on that, and he's using a Tamiya paint and having to do dual coat, multiple coats, 2 coats each, which I think I'm going to end up having to do as well. But I'm doing things on this model I've never done before, like mixing my own paint, because that's what it says in the instructions, and I'm having a blast with it. I'm realizing I have skills that I never use because I'm afraid to use them. Things like mixing paint don't really scare me, but they're not my real forte. They're out of my comfort zone.
I don't mind mixing paint, but I'm partially colorblind. So what I see a color looks like, and I mix it to match what I see, and in reality, it's not the same.
That's okay. Somebody says anything to you that looks wrong, tell them it's in my world, it looks right.
You're not living in my world.
Exactly.
I love sprue goo.
Right?
Yeah. I made one batch that was super thick, and it's almost too thick, but I actually use it a lot for filler because it's nice.
You mean this stuff?
Yep.
I have to make some of that.
It's a lifesaver.
Yes.
Wait, I thought it was like MEK and sprue.
You can make it like that too.
This is, to me, an extra thin in sprue.
So, but Kalan just said it,
It
which
is.
is a hard candy.
Hey, do you actually know what's in a lifesaver?
I'm sure there's MEK in it.
Exactly.
So I'm looking over at the chat. Kenny says he agrees with Lewis about. I think I read that actually before. No such thing as 700 scale. He gave Eric an order for a double Whopper with cheese combo, large with a Coke and a 6-piece nugget. Eric said he loves 700 scale kits. Yeah, Kenny misspelled nugget. Great shelf size. That is true. Eric. And Kenny said, red, night.
That's what I am. Red, green, colorblind.
So, I think because that's all you're going to see of it, that came out fantastic.
Nice.
Need to do a little bit of white in there, but I'm going to let that dry first. And it's funny because I was looking at my reference pictures. This area is lit up like nobody's business. I think it's awesome they have the bottom of the pool sticking up to meet the bottom of the pool here. But I'm not sure how I'm going to put LEDs in here. I'm thinking probably what I'm going to do is back here.
I would suggest very carefully, but you know.
Yeah. But back here, there's a gap. And my reference pictures, you can actually see the lights themselves. So I'm thinking, gonna run my wire through here and just throw probably a 6 strip, I don't think 9 will fit, of LED tape back here. By the way, this right here, keep talking about editing, and I always say I edit while I'm filming. This is where I would pause the film or pause the recording. I don't know if you saw that today, Kaylin, the discussions that actually was on your live stream. You should have.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, tells me I need to edit, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm not going to. Every time Kenny says something about editing, I tell him editing is a 4-letter word.
Oh, come on. There we go.
See, there you go. Just edit. Editing is a 4-letter word that you do by yourself and you need to clean up afterwards. Love water. So let me see if I can just scrape this out like I had before. I love this thing.
Come on, get in your home.
My question is for Kenny, has Kelly ever come downstairs and caught him editing? About it. I'm just looking because I went through all my LED strip yesterday and had a bunch of them over here.
Oh, man. Damn it.
I responded yes, and I jumped up from my desk when about the comment of, has Kelly ever caught him editing? Okay, Lois, that last one I would want to hear, and then I'd say, what happened?
What did he say?
He said, my vids have to be edited, else you would hear me shout, leave your sister alone, or sit down and shut up, or no, that isn't supposed to. I'm sure it's something like when my daughter decided one day when she was 4, my wife and I were in the kitchen. Francisca and her were in the living room. Francisca was watching TV and Lisa was up to no good. She had gone into the closet, relatively small apartment. She had gone into the closet where I had screws and stuff like that. And in Germany, the plugs are round. When she got a screw and stuck it into the hole, stuck it in the socket, all we heard was back. You know, we heard, and then Lisa started crying. So we run in there, and we're like, "What happened?" And we asked Francisca, "What happened?" Because Lisa's crying and everything. And Francisca's like, Lisa was over there by the wall, and then she jumped across the room and started crying. She had taken a sheetrock screw about this long and stuck it into the socket. And then she jumped across the room and started crying because the screw was still stuck in the socket. I looked at that and it almost died. So I went, flipped the circuit breaker, and then I got my insulated, pulled the screw out and said, don't do that ever again. It was funny shortly after it, but it was like, oh my God, kid, how stupid can you be?
They don't know.
Mm-hmm. You know, as much as I would love to lay the tape in here sideways like that, that ain't gonna work. It's too tall. I don't have any narrow.
I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to... Yeah. Alright. Just gonna let it sit there and think about what it did. Let all of that dry. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of touch up, but not as much as I thought I'd have to.
Okay.
Oh man.
That is awesome, Louis. He said, with our kids, we are very honest with them. So when my son came down swinging a tampon around and shouting, I've got a pet mouse, I said to the wife, you can explain that one. That's hilarious. Since this is not going to be tall enough,
I don't know what to do now because I gotta wait for that to dry.
Get a hammer and start pounding on the other parts.
No, not on this one.
So which part? Are you waiting for it to dry?
I'm waiting for the side panels to dry. They
Put
just,
onto the car?
yeah, I just glued them on, but I used I had to fill in a bunch of gaps with sprue goo, and that takes a little bit of time. I need to clear coat everything, so I might do that tonight.
Okay, so now it's time for me to do my impression of a mad scientist with LEDs. Because on the actual ship, when you're looking into this part from the aft, actually. Never mind. It's taped over. I was going to show it on the model itself. And they're not windows with glass. I'm going back to the scale. It doesn't mean that Titanic to go in the bin because it was too small. Going back to the scale, that doesn't exist. Oh, scales that don't exist. The 1/400 went into the bin because it was too small. It's actually a fair size ship. I have one. Not right, Lewis. Making an old man get up. I believe this is actually 1/400 scale. It was 1/350 on the box. My LEDs are still working inside there. Matter of fact, just for comparison, this is a 1/400 scale. I gotta move it back. This is also a 1/400 scale. It's not significantly longer. Thanks, Lewis. This is actually the first kit I ever lit. It's not significantly longer or wider, or, where it's going to be significantly larger as it's built up quite a bit. And you can see back here, my flag is broken. This is in 3 moves, but I still love it.
Titanic.
This one?
Yeah.
This one, either 1/350 or 1/400. I think it's 1/350 actually, because it should be a little bit smaller compared to this one.
At the time, the Titanic was a huge ship, but nowadays it's not really huge.
At the time, it was the largest in the world. And the Queen Mary II is the largest ocean liner in the world because she's the only ocean liner in the world. It's actually moving back and forth. And it's funny how I ended up with that Titanic. My wife saw me looking at models. That was the model that got me back into the hobby. She saw me. I was
Really?
looking at. Yes, I was looking at it, and then she bought it, and it just showed up. And so I started working on the Titanic. was the first ship I lit. Lots of firsts on that kit, and that's why it's in really rough shape. I got a couple of parts to glue back onto her because she's moved. Let me think. She took me 8 months. We lived in Cash's house, then we bought our house. So that was one move. Then from California to... Actually, she hasn't moved that many times, just twice. This video needs editing.
That's plenty of moves for a model, though.
Huh?
That's plenty of moves for a model, though.
Yeah, it's hard to keep a model viable through one move, let alone two. That's part of the reason I stopped building for so long, because while I was in the Air Force and subject to move every few years, it just didn't make any sense. Okay, I sidetracked myself. I was looking for LEDs. That is the way to go. I could actually start. I think they're 0805s. I've had them for years. Only Donnie.
I have done it successfully.